सो चलिए क्लास स्टार्ट करते हैं. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द क्लास. Okay. So participants, yesterday we talked about the some historical milestones behind the cloud computing system. And what happened? Please wait here. Okay. And we seen that these are the main stream technology which have been helped in the development of cloud computing system. And then we talked about the distributed computing system. And then I just said that mainframe computing, cluster computing, grid computing are the main base technology for this cloud computing system. And I already told you uh, this is the evolution of cloud computing, not the distributed computing. So this picture just give you a brief overview how the development of cloud computing uh, goes through the several decades. So before the development of cloud system, you may see there are several technologies have been developed, and with respect to time, several high performance computing models also developed. And then in 1970, the development of TCP ICP model and Ethernet LAN was started. So if you see in the mid of 1970 and 2000, there was a sufficient strength of network or the internet facility. And with the improvement in internet facility or network strength, the Web 2.0 services was also, or the services was also started, or the delivery of these services was started with the help of internet, and that trend was known as the Web 2.0. And after this trend, several service provider came into existence who just provided the several ICT resources over the internet on the basis of utilities. Then we talked about mainframe computing, and we also talked about the cluster computing and the grid computing. So grid computing, uh, just was the evaluation of cluster computing, and it was a new approach where the peoples were accessing the large computational power and storage facility and some variety of services also. So in grid computing system, the multiple services were enabled for the consumers, and these resources were consumed as on the basis of daily utilities like power, gas, water. So The rent basis computing was started with the development of grid computing, but it was facing some issues, and this technology was started by combining the several the servers which are geographically disparate, and the servers from the multiple locations were connected together with the help of internet connection, and it just utilized all the servers which are being studied in the uh, cluster computing, and grid computing just become a quite common resources for the grid computing. Okay, for the grid computing. Okay, and the resources in cluster computing or the servers in cluster computing generally were remains in the underutilization situation, and what the grid computing just said that it combined all the servers from the multiple locations to each other, and then it allocated those resources on the basis of daily utilities like the daily. And here if the peoples were requiring more computing power, then dynamically they may get the more computing power, and several facility regarding your high performance computing was started with this grid computing technology, and several internet based technology also evolved with this technology. Then the another significant technology which help in the development of cloud computing is the virtualization technology, and it is a core technology for the cloud computing system. So without having the uh, virtualization technology, or without implementation of the virtualization technology, the cloud computing or the existence of cloud computing was not possible. So virtualization basically consists of several uh, features like the abstraction of the fundamental elements like computing, hardware, runtime environment, and storage, and the networking. So overall, if you see here, with the help of virtualization, not only the hardware component, but you can again create the multiple instances of the applications as well as the software also. So with the help of virtualization, you can create the multiple instance of a single resource, and then resource may be your hardware, maybe your software, or maybe your any application. So it provides the abstraction where you can use the resources without going to the deeper uh, or internal complexity of the system. So here users never knows that the resources where or the whatever the resources they have subscribed from the cloud, those resources are being shared among the multiple consumers. So virtualization have been developed has been developed around for more than 40 years, but its application has always been limited by the technologies that did not allow an efficient use of virtualization technology. So, with the implementation of cloud data centers, the virtualization became the base technology for establishing the cloud data centers, and now it is an essential technology for initiating the cloud or virtualized based computing. So virtualization is essentially a technology that allows the creation of different computing environments. So with the help of this technology, the same server or same machine can execute the multiple operating systems or multiple computing environments at the same time. So virtualization was there, and then 2.0 trend was there, which again helped to the in the development of cloud computing. So Web 2.0 was a trend where the peoples were enabling the services with the help of internet, and uh, this evaluation again transformed the web services or the way of delivering the services through the internet. So Web 2.0 was a trend where the peoples were enabling the services through the internet. And with this trend, the service provider of the different services were trying to allocate the services through the internet. So the different applications was started with the web 2.0, like the Google application, Google Documents, Google Maps. So whatever the application web-based services you see there, all these applications or web-based services are running on the web 2.0 trade, where the services were allocated or being allocated with the help of this web 2.0 or web services. So whatever the site we access, like YouTube, Genesis, Blogger, Wikipedia, Twitter, all these services are running on the web services. So service oriented computing is there with the after the development of web services. So the people think that whatever the service we will allocate, all those services will be allocated in the form of service. So people just think that all the resources which we will allocate to the consumer, those resources will be considered as the service. So service oriented computing supports for the development of rapid, low cost, flexible, interoperable and evaluable applications and systems. So the objective of this service oriented computing is to just allocate each and every resource in the form of service. And in order to enable this service oriented computing system, the cloud computing architecture has been developed as the service oriented architecture, where the peoples can use several software modules and the set of rules to develop the services to enable the services. So the service oriented architecture is there, which enables you the allocation of the resources as the service. So service oriented computing introduces and diffuses two more concepts which are also useful to the cloud computing as the quality of service and the software as a service. So these two terms was started with the at the starting of cloud computing system. So basically, your delivery of cloud computing system was started with the software as a service, and software as a service model was the first model where the people's was started the enabling of applications over the internet, and quality of service was the another term with the application or software as a service, which was started with the service oriented computing. And then people just think about the delivery of services like in the in the as the utility oriented computing. So utility oriented computing, is a vision of computing that defines a service provisioning model for compute services in which resources such as storage, compute, power, applications, and infrastructures are packaged and offered on the basis of pay-per-use. So the idea of providing computing as the utility like natural gas, water, power, telephone connection has a long history, but has become a reality today with the advent of cloud computing. So the proper implementation of delivering the ICT resources as the daily utilities become possible with the implementation of cloud computing technology. So cloud, we already talked on these kind of things, but it is only to just give you an idea how the cloud have been developed, or how the things have been developed before the cloud computing technology, and how they help to the development of cloud computing technology. So these are the some milestones which have been developed before the development of cloud computing, and how these things helps in the development of cloud computing system. Okay, everyone, if you want to ask something, you may ask in this slide.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, can you please give some details regarding that server and facilities of the cloud that service providers, just for getting some idea, firewall, etc., what they use, how they manage these servers and all, just for
Yeah,
any.
yeah, yes, we are going to start some service models,
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
and we will not only discuss the overview of those service models, but we will see the architecture of those service models, and inside these service models you will see how these services are being allocated to uh, in each service model. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, thank you. So anyone else? Okay, so let me start another slide. Okay, so let's talk on the service models in cloud computing system. So at the starting of this course, we just discussed that the cloud is offering the different services to the consumers, and those services are basically categorized into three standard service models, and these three standard service models have been developed or categorized, or the services are put in these service models on the basis of the nature or the characteristic of the service. So, cloud is basically offering all the services. It may be your application, it may be your operating system software, it may be your platform, it may be your tools, and the resources you may access from the cloud, like the computation, the storage facility, the networks. So several, if you see the multiple resources or the services you may access from the cloud computing system. So in order to categorize or standardize the categorization of the services, the cloud computing or the National Institute of Standard Technology basically categorized all these services in cloud computing into the four basic models. And what these are service models? These service models are the um, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So in this slide, uh, we will talk about how those service models actually have been implemented, and what is the architecture of each service model, and how the cloud, or how the each service model is enabling the services, what are the internal software modules or the interfaces which are being used to allocate the services to the consumers to manage the resources. So we will discuss each and everything regarding how the services are being delivered in each service model by discussing the several interfaces in each service model. So let's start with the discussion of service models. So the question is that how you will choose a service model, how you will select a service model if you have the requirement or need of cloud computing services. So in order to discuss that, let's imagine that you are moving to a new city and you are looking for a place to live in that city. So basically, normally when we go to the new city and if we are planning to stay there, then definitely for living purpose we will have the several options. So basically we will have the three options. What are these options? So these options are whether to build a new house from the scratch to live in that new city, or whether uh, buying an empty house, or whether living in a hotel. So basically these three options you will have if you are moving to a new city and you are planning to live there. So the first option which you have, the building a new house from the scratch and buying an empty house which is already developed, already designed, or without thinking about this, we may have the another option. Yeah, we can directly live in a hotel and we may release the hotel. So these three scenarios or options you may have if you are moving to the new city. Then building a new house from the scratch, or building a new house, what you will need to control or what you need to arrange. So if you are trying to build a new house, definitely you need to arrange the property, land property. Then you need to have some concrete materials and whatever the materials you require to build the house. And you again need to hire the manpower to build the new house. And ultimately you need to monitor the building process, and you need to also control the financial issues. So if you are planning to build a new house by your own self, then uh, do you need to control each and everything by yourself. So controlling everything for building a new house, is very tough, time consuming, and it is hard. So if you are building a new house from the scratch, so definitely each and everything uh, you need to control each and everything. So building a new house is just uh, kind of a tough task. So the another option is, okay, I will not interested in building a new house from the scratch. So what is the another option? So then another option is, yes, I can buy the empty house. So you may buy the empty house, but okay, so after buying this empty house, you may customize that empty house according to your need. But always remember that you cannot change this empty house, or yeah, you cannot change the original architecture of this house. You have some limitations here, but you can fastly uh, purchase this house and you can customize this house according to your need. So what it depends upon your requirement. So you can change the, or you can customize slightly to your house, but you cannot change here the original architecture of your new empty house. So the third thing is that, okay, I am not interested in both the cases. I may live in a hotel, and living in a hotel is just like, you have to pay for the services and consume the services and just live the services without changing anything, without managing anything, without controlling anything. So you have to enjoy the services only. So here, if you see, we have considered these three scenarios. If you are moving to a new city, then uh, what these are scenarios. So if you are planning to live there, then the first option was the building the new house from the scratch, and the second option which you have, the buying an empty house, and the third option, living in a hotel. So let's convert all these three scenarios into the cloud computing service models. So if you want to have an IT department, then it is similar to the building a new house in, as in the considered or imagined scenario. So you can rent some virtualized infrastructure and build up your own IT system among those resources, which may be fully controlled And if we technically speak to this term, then this term will also known as the infrastructure as a service. So building a new house from the scratch is just like building an infrastructure as a service or building an IT department over the cloud, and you may control mostly all the things in infrastructure as a service without controlling some basic things. So building a new house is just like building an infrastructure as a service over the virtualized infrastructure or virtualized cloud data centers. And this another thing is that our other scenario was the buying an empty house. So buying an empty house is just like building a platform as a service. Okay, so buying an empty house is just you can directly develop your own IT system through one cloud platform and do not care about any lower level resource management. So here in this scenario, if you think this buying an empty house in terms of cloud computing, so here you can just just to subscribe a platform, and using that platform, you can develop your own IT system or the application, and you don't need to think about the lower level resources or the management of the resources. So here you only need to control some few resources, and you not only need to consume those resources. And for this scenario is technically is known as the platform as a service solution. So buying an empty house is just a platform as a service, or subscribing a platform as a service where you can use the already developed or pre-configured platforms to develop the applications and some other tools without changing the architecture or without changing the library or whatever the things they have. So basically you cannot change anything here, but okay, you cannot change the platform, but you can customize your APIs, you can customize your appearance of the rented application, but you cannot change the architecture of this platform. Okay, so buying an empty house is just renting a platform for directly developing the applications or for uh, integrating the applications. So buying an empty house is just like platform as a service, and living in a hotel is another third option which you may have if you are moving to a new city and you are planning to live there. Then what you will do, you will directly rent to the hotel owner, and you will reserve a room or set of rooms, and you will start the living there by just uh, arranging the or managing your resources. So living in a hotel just like your software as a service. So you can directly use some existed IT solutions here, which were provided by some cloud application service provider without knowing the detailed technique about how these services was achieved. So technically, this scenario uh, is called as software as a service, where you consume the applications or the software services without knowing how the things are being managed and how the resources are allocated, terminated, created. So you don't care to need, or you don't care about all these things. Only the thing is that you only uh, enjoy the services. So here you only use the services without controlling anything. So if you talk about the control of the resources, so here you will not be able to control anything. Only the thing is that you have to enjoy only the services. So the real we have just imagined here the real life scenario, and then we try to convert those three scenarios in the form of service models. So the first scenario was is building the new house from the scratch. It's just like building an empty house or building an IT department over the virtualized server, and each and everything you may control by your own self. And buying an empty house is just like platform as a service, where the peoples can access the already deployed platforms or architected platforms to access the services, and developers only control some or can customize some basic things in platform as a service. And the third one case is the living in a hotel or just using the software as a service. So these were the three scenarios which we have talked here, and then we converted all these scenarios in these three service models. Okay, so let's see about all these service models in cloud. So if you see toward the bottom of this, or this is the hierarchy of these three service models. So this hierarchy or this taxonomy actually defines the all or these service models actually put it on the top of each other, and there is a technical reason behind this. So if you see toward the basic or the bottom layer of this taxonomy, so you will see at the bottom layer there is a infrastructure as a service, where the infrastructure like physical machines, computing power, resource, storage facility, network facility, input output facility are just deployed. So infrastructure as a service is the basic need to develop the cloud computing services, and without installing the infrastructure we cannot imagine these services, cloud-based services. It may be your platform as a service, software as a service, and the infrastructure as a service. The hardware infrastructure is deployed, and This hardware infrastructure is actually consists of several capacities like the computing resources, network, storage, and virtualization. So basically, infrastructure as a service layer consists of the real infrastructure that will be allocated to the consumer, and this infrastructure is actually managed by these two interfaces. One is resource management interface and another is system monitoring interface. So these two interfaces are used to manage these resources and to monitor these resources and the services which are being utilized here and being allocated to the consumer. So infrastructure as a service is the bottom layer of this hierarchy or this taxonomy. Then on the top of this layer, the another service model which we have put it here is the platform as a service, and this layer is also known as the runtime environment or runtime layer, runtime execution layer. So this is the runtime environment which is created by developing the several uh, applications or the IDs which are used to develop the applications, softwares, and this layer consists of several tools which are used to deploy the applications, develop application to the cloud again. So some development tools are there, runtime environment is there, and the control interface is there, which is used to control the resources granted by the consumer. So resource management is there, fault tolerant capability is there in this model, and some dynamic provisioning and load balancing capacity is there, which manage the resources of the cloud computing system. So you may just imagine the technical architecture of the cloud computing just like this. So first, what the cloud service provider did, so they deployed the application infrastructure as a service, and on the top of this, they deployed the platform as a service, where the runtime environment is provided to the developers by enabling several tools, development tools, IDs, and the runtime environment. So this platform as a service is basically consist of or offering the platforms for developing the heterogeneous applications, and those applications again deployed to the cloud for the consumers. And on the top of this, we are running the another service model, which is the software as a service. And this software as a service model basically enables the allocation of different applications. So consumers just access here the heterogeneous applications, which is uh, enabled by this service software as a service model or SaaS model. So this SaaS model basically is offers you the general application, business application, health related application, and some scientific computation based applications. So basically several applications are allocated in this service model, and these applications are accessed through the mobile device or through the web-based services or through the web. So the software as a service allocates you the applications, and these applications are accessed through the mobile device and through the web services. So this is a hierarchical overview how these service models are deployed and what are the things which are being allocated in these service models. So these are the some internal details of its architecture that we will discuss, and here we will discuss its architecture in detail by discussing several aspects of each architecture. Okay, everyone. So anything you want to ask? Okay. So let's keep a few minute break, then we will continue. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, participants, so let's continue. So first of all, we will discuss about the uh, okay, infrastructure as a service. So in infrastructure as a service, we access the or consumer access the computing facility, computing power, storage facility, networking facility, and other fundamental computing resources also. Where okay, after after renting out this infrastructure as a service, you can build your own IT system. So for that, if you want to build your own IT system over the cloud, so then you may have to access, you may need to uh, install the servers over the cloud computing system. So consumers here need to deploy the servers, or they rent the servers, and then they may deploy the desired operating system over those servers, and they may again install the applications over those servers. So you can design your complete set of servers with the desired operating systems and the applications, and you may control your uh, deployed servers or your deployed IT department over the virtualization, over the virtualized data center. And here, what are the things which can be controlled by the users or by the consumer? So consumer here may control the deployed operating system, storage facility, applications, and possibly limited control of selecting networking components. So you may alter some basic things like your networking components also. So ultimately, in this infrastructure as a service, what you can do, you can rent the uh, several hardware-based resources like computation service, storage service, networking service, and the some other things also. And whatever the you installed on the servers, you may control each and everything, excluding some basic things which is done by the service provider. So here, mostly you can control the resources as per your need on the system. And the main service provider or infrastructure as a service providers are Amazon EC2, Eucalyptus, Open Nebula, and etc. And Rackspace is there. So many service providers are there who's providing this infrastructure as a service, where you can access the infrastructure as a service. And this is the system architecture of this infrastructure as a service. So in infrastructure as a service, okay, on the basic of this architecture, you may say there is a computing system, networking system, and the storage facility. So these are the basic components which you need to install for enabling the infrastructure as a service. So you have the computing system, networking capabilities, and the storage system. And then on the top of this system, you deploy a layer which is the virtualization layer, and this layer is installed over these physical components. And this layer is created by using the tool which is known as the hypervisor tool. And hypervisor is used to create this layer. And This layer actually offers you two interfaces like the resource management interface and the system monitoring interface. So these two interfaces are used to enable the services, to manage the services, to monitor the services. So resource management interface is there and management interface is there. So resource management interface is the part of or the module of this virtualization layer, and the allocation of the resources to the VMs, the deallocation of the resource, creation of the virtual machine, termination of the virtual machine, and the pause and replay the virtual machine. So everything which is regarding to the service or resource management is handled by the resource management interface. And to monitor the resource usage or the resource usage of the physical machines as well as the virtual machines, the system monitoring interface is there, which monitor the resource usage in the system. So the enabling technique of this infrastructure as a service is the virtualization, which help for the development of this service model. So in cloud data center, in traditional computing system, this was the stack of resources. So hardware is there, and on the top of this hardware you normally runs the single operating system, and on the single operating system the multiple applications are executed. So if you see here, only ha- uh, this hardware, on this hardware the only single operating system could run. Okay, and on this operating system the multiple applications may run. Whereas if you see to the virtualized stack, then the hardware is there, and on the top of this hardware there is a hypervisor, and this hypervisor or on the top of this hypervisor, and this hypervisor is also known as the virtualization technology, virtualization layer. And on this hypervisor or virtualization layer you may create the different virtual machines, and each virtual machine will have its own operating system, and this operating system is known as the guest operating system. And each virtual machine may execute the n number of applications, and you can create the n number of virtual machines on the same hardware. It depends upon the configuration of virtual machine which you want to create, and it also depends upon the configuration of the host or the physical server. So you cannot create the virtual machine with that specification which is not fulfilled by the uh, which is could not be fulfilled by the your hardware or physical machine. So the virtualization is the key enabling technique of this infrastructure as a service model, and these properties are supported by this service model, infrastructure as a service. Okay, so participants will we will continue this service model uh, from tomorrow. Okay.
Sir, tomorrow we have class, or it is
Okay, tomorrow is I think Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah,
Yeah, on Sunday we will take this class.
Saturday there will be not be any class.
Yeah, there will not be any class.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
This-